First off, I apologize for the time this video is going up. There was a live stream of a Dr. Dog concert on Facebook and I had to indulge myself in that. Basically, what I want to talk about today is music. Music while you're reading and music while you're writing. And since the writing is a little bit more complicated, I'm going to do the reading first. Personally, I cannot sit in silence and read, only if I'm reading H.P. Lovecraft or Edgar Allan Poe or something really particularly creepy. The silence is just a bit too eerie for me when I'm reading something that's not very specifically designed to frighten me. And on the complete other end of the spectrum, I can't listen to my music in iTunes or whatever while I'm writing because I get very distracted by the lyrics and then it's just the whole reading thing is shot. Essentially, I need some kind of like white noise or something while I read. And while I have had a couple different things I've tried in the past, rainy moods, usually because I really like to read when it's raining, it works for me. I did find a website today, which I will link down here, where you can get up to 4 different sounds, and you can mix the levels and all that kind of stuff, and it's just different nature sounds. There's rain, and thunder, and like crackling fire, and a wolf howling, and all these different things that you can change the levels and how often they play and stuff, and that really, really is amazing. I tried that today, and it was fantastic. I think it's really important to have something, even if you can read in silence or if you need music, whatever, to have those like optimum conditions when you're reading, because a big part of reading is comprehending. You need to understand the words that you're reading, and you need to understand the storyline or it's not going to make sense and it's going to ruin the experience. On to the more complicated issue at hand, music while you're writing. Some people can sit and write in silence, and that's what they need so they can think and process their thoughts and whatever they need to do. I personally can't do it in silence either. If I had to, if I was stuck, I could do it, but I prefer not to. I tend to make playlists for whatever I'm writing about. If I'm writing fan fiction, it's usually for a specific pairing of characters. So I will have a playlist specifically for their relationship or friendship or whatever it is. Or if I'm writing my own thing, I will have a playlist for the tone of where I want my novel to go at that point, or my short story or poem or whatever it is. Just to give you an example on the fanfiction side, because my novel one is top secret, partially because it's secret, and partially because it's not done yet. Because we talked about fanfiction either last week or the week before. When I write my Doctor Who fanfiction, it's usually for 10 in rows. So my playlist for them that I listen to when I'm writing is Forever Young by Bob Dylan, and When You Were Young by The Killers, Maria by Blondie, Keep Holding On by Avril Lavigne, I Want You to Want Me by Cheap Trick, Can't Help Falling in Love by Elvis Presley, She Drives Me Crazy by The Fine Young Cannibal, I Melt With You by Modern English, Every Time by Simple Plan, The Fever by Southside Johnny and the Asbury Jukes, Love of My Life by Queen, Iris by the Goo Goo Dolls, and Save Me by Queen. Essentially, when I'm writing, that specific set of songs just helps me focus on the tone I'm trying to get across, and it reminds me of their relationship and how I feel about it, and what I get from it, and how I can write them well, write their characters well, write the story well, all that stuff. The reason my novel one is not done is it's a bit more complex, and there tends to be less songs focused towards a specific couple, and more songs focused on the overall plot and how I want that chapter to feel. It's also a lot longer than 13 or 14 songs, and there's a lot of classical pieces in there, whether they be, well-known classical pieces or from a movie soundtrack. I know that there's a couple in there from Harry Potter and other, fantasy epics where the tone would really fit for what I'm trying to do. Even beyond that, I tend to make playlists for each main character, individually, because you don't want to lose sight of their specific personality and what they're about, and it'll really help you keep in check, because people I talk to, and even myself, sometimes you're like, I feel like all my dialogue is the same, or I feel like this character is not an individual character, and I highly recommend making playlists because it'll keep that character fresh in your mind. When you hear the songs, you'll be reminded, and it will be a lot easier. So that is basically my tip of the week, and something I do a lot, and if you do it a lot, we should talk about that, because that's a cool thing. Or maybe I'm crazy. Maybe people don't like doing playlists. I personally do. I know Ashley does. And Ashley, I hope when I see you on Wednesday, you will share some of your Lucius Amelia playlists with us.